It is the beginning of December and we're experiencing a cryptocurrency parabolic bull market, which I predicted would happen with my November 2024 update. I have been busy trimming my exposure and taking large profits, the most profits I've ever made. With these profits, I've been buying the dips in AI stock prices ready for the AI bull market to continue into 2025. Welcome to my channel where you can watch my AI stocks, cryptocurrency, well-built-in investment strategies and how I use these to beat inflation. At the end of the video, I'll give my thoughts on how I intend to take advantage of any investment opportunities this month. The surge in cryptocurrency prices has enabled me to cash out some great positions and build my cash percentage of my portfolio to a high of 24%. Thus, I've been using this additional cash to increase my exposure to great AI stocks using my buy targets and using my unique take on dollar cost averaging, as cryptocurrency is nothing more than a gamble. Where the real money can be made is with great AI stocks. I've also sold completely out of MicroStrategy, which is a company that holds a lot of Bitcoin on their balance sheet. Thus, when Bitcoin goes up, so does the stock price for this company. Having purchased this stock for $50 back in January 2024 and selling out at $350 and $400, I've made huge profits on this stock price. However, I might venture back in if the stock price drops below 300 or ideally 200, as this stock can be purchased through tax-efficient investment schemes such as a stocks and shares ISA, and thus not liable for capital gains tax in the UK. The S&P 500 index during November dropped to 5,700 before rocketing higher after the election to over 6,000, which is a 17% increase from the low of August 2024, giving the indication that there has not been any investment opportunities. This is why I do not invest in index tracking funds, as they miss golden opportunities to accumulate great AI stocks at bargain prices. My primary focus is accumulating great AI stocks during any corrections, and later in this video I'll show you which AI stocks I've been able to purchase during this period. Some of these AI stocks have experienced bad news, which is great for me, as it means I get to buy them at discount prices even in a bull market, using my unique take on dollar cost averaging strategy to accumulate positions. By using my buy targets and the company's earning potential as a guide to which AI stock looks great value, it has given me the opportunity to purchase great AI stocks such as Nvidia for as little as $92. This is why I do not read or watch any financial media press or TV channels, as they always advise the incorrect strategy for the financial markets. Their primary focus is to sell fear and panic, so to maximize their own exposure and profits. We're still in a bull market and the risks are still to the upside, which I expect this bull market to continue for at least another year, so deep drops in AI stock prices should be temporary as they eventually look to target new bull market highs. I still believe that the S&P trend is to continue higher above 6,000 into early 2025 and taking advantage of any AI stocks coming into my buying ranges. I'm not a financial advisor and this is not financial advice. This is purely what I intend to do. This year the AI stocks broke out to trade into overvalued levels, which since the summer of 2024 they've entered a period of consolidation as they have unwound their overvalued states before the next breakout higher. As I'm aware of this behavior, I tend to trim the AI stocks that become overvalued, for there are only two ways that a stock valuation can improve. The stock prices fall or earnings play catch up while the stock price consolidates in a trading range. Next, I'll give a brief comment on why I have and continue to invest in the following AI stocks. After this, I'll show you my buying ranges of these AI stocks and what my average price paid and my asset exposure. Before I intend to make any asset purchase, I determine firstly how much risk or exposure I wish to have. This aids my unique take on dollar cost averaging by having an investment price target for each stock I wish to accumulate into. To learn more about this, watch my video Wealth Building Dollar Cost Averaging. The best AI stock in my portfolio, Nvidia, is AI. It's rare for it to drop to give any opportunity to buy. I've been lucky to have two opportunities this year to purchase some at discount prices from its high, once during August and then again in September. As I mentioned in my October and November update, I expect Nvidia to reach $240 plus by the end of 2025. Therefore, I will be careful of over-trimming Nvidia, as this stock does not give many corrections to build a great position in. Not even the election or earnings season gave any buying opportunities. Over the summer, the stock price corrected by 26%, trading down to a low of $148. Its price to earnings looked cheap against the other AI stocks, as it's an unloved AI stock at the moment. This, however, is beginning to change since September, as its trend is showing that its stock price gradually increasing towards $200 by the end of the year. It is a steady AI stock, not volatile like AMD or Nvidia. Keep on trending higher is the message from Google. AMD is in a race with Nvidia and Intel to release new AI chips to power AI end-user computers. However, AMD is not superior to Nvidia. The only reason to buy AMD processors is because they're a lot better than Intel's, and that still remains the case. Whereas AMD's earnings have been good, but they're not good enough to justify the rally over the summer to $220, which I took full advantage of by trimming down my investment. Whilst AMD is still a very good AI stock, it is not Nvidia and thus does not have the growth potential Nvidia has. AMD seems to be trading in a range between $130 and $180. Any correction towards $130 is giving me an opportunity to load up on AMD stock. Certainly after its latest earnings release, I'm now getting those opportunities in AMD. Microsoft has still been the hardest to accumulate into. It does not seem to give me much of a buying opportunity. My last purchase was in 2023 for an average price of $290. This is another stock that currently looks like to be in a trading range. Thus, I'll be looking to accumulate more when the stock reaches the bottom of this range. The stock price has dropped since its high of $468, which I believe by the end of 2025, it will surpass this. Since November 2022, Meta has had a spectacular bull run and refuses to drop despite being overextended. The reason for this can be seen in its high earnings growth. It's going to take a lot more than war in the Middle East to knock this stock lower. Every time Meta looks like it's going to drop, it reverts higher, back to almost above $600. Thus, it's one of my best AI stocks that I've invested in. I've trimmed my Meta stock after buying large purchases during the drop in November 22 and look to accumulate a gain on any signs of weakness. Though its earning growth is still great, so this opportunity might not arise for a while. During the summer, Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing rocketed higher to $189, which I was able to trim my position. I was then fortunate to accumulate back into the stock during August for an average of $150 before it had excellent earnings report during October, in which I took full advantage of by trimming a gain at $211 for a 33% profit within a couple of months. You don't get that kind of return investing in index-only funds. AI computer chip demand is still strong and accelerating, so exposure to semiconductor companies like this is key to my investment strategy. This company has excellent earnings, and future growth should mean any drop in stock price will be temporary. I've been accumulating this stock all throughout 2023 for under $100, and then trimming heavily as it reached towards an all-time high of $230 over the summer. I've been repurchasing the stock during August and November as it hit $160 and below. It is looking fair price now, and its earnings growth suggests that the correction in its stock will be temporary. So I view any dip below $160 as an opportunity to accumulate more. Wow, what can I say about Tesla? Since the US election, it has rose more than 40%. After purchasing this AI stock throughout the year, with some purchases as low as $141, I've trimmed at $285 and $330. I do think the stock will correct down towards below $280, which will give me an opportunity to accumulate a gain. My view still that I expect Tesla stock over the next 10 years to increase at least 10 times from that purchase price earlier this year. In the meantime, I'm looking to trim as the stock heads towards $400 and $500 plus dollars, as Tesla is a high-risk AI stock which can be volatile. This, timed correctly, can give an opportunity to build a bigger position. This year, ASML has dropped from its all-time high of $1,100 down to a low of $690. I do find this a great AI stock to accumulate and then trim, building bigger positions each time. In my October market update, I thought that there would be more of a chance of a downside surprise to this stock to present some buying opportunities, and I have got this since its earnings report in October. The stock price has dropped below my buy target, and I'm using my unique take on dollar cost averaging to build a bigger position within this stock, as I believe by the end of 2025 it will trend to an all-time high. Over the course of 2024, Micron soared to $156, and the recent correction taking it down below $100. This stock is volatile, which I look to capitalize on. Its share price did recover, but as I predicted in my November update, it has given opportunities to accumulate below $100, which I have taken advantage of. Micron's earnings have been affected by the AI chip demand. Therefore, the stock price should move higher, maybe not above the $150 anytime soon, though the earnings growth does look good for 2025. This table shows my buy targets for each AI stock, what my current average purchase price has been for the stock, and what my current exposure is of the asset. It's a balancing act between having exposure and overpaying for an AI stock. The easiest thing to do would be just to invest and forget. I can't do that for stocks such as AMD. It's too volatile to not try and capitalize on this, which is why I buy in and out of AMD depending on what the stock prices does, whilst building a core position, as I believe, regardless of what the stock prices do, the AI megatrend is going to run for decades. Bitcoin has finally ended its over 6-month consolidation range and broke higher to all-time highs during November. People that I've spoken to have talked themselves into selling their Bitcoin as they believed the trend was reversing and Bitcoin would drop to $52,000 or even lower. Another reason why you need to have focus when building wealth. Otherwise you will get distracted by this talk and sell your positions before the big moves happen. My October and November chart view of Bitcoin was to trend towards $90,000, which had achieved this to around $99,000. I expect this to correct towards $75,000, which then should set the final path to above $100,000, which should be achieved by the end of 2024 or early 2025. I do not think this correction will be easy, with lots of false signals in both directions, which will confuse the financial media into thinking that cryptocurrency bull market has ended. It will be extremely important to have focus during this period and not to get caught up in this confusion. I plan to sell 90% of my Bitcoin at around $120,000, just when everyone else was expecting it to rise to $150,000, $200,000. It might go to $200,000, but I'm not prepared to take that risk and lose the profits of Bitcoin that I bought back at the end of 2023 for an average price of $37,000. And lastly, do not forget that we're in a bull market that has at least another year to run, which means when AI stocks fall, it's time to get greedy, not fearful. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more tips on how I use AI stocks and cryptocurrency to build my wealth and beat inflation. Until next time, take care.